Hello again, space community and beyond. Gonna give you guys a couple of seconds to get logged in. There we go. So in the meantime, I'm gonna give you just a little bit of time to begin to set up your space. You can see how I've set up my space here for our restorative class tonight. I posted a list of props about 30 minutes ago. Pillow, bolster if you have a bolster, a blanket or two depending on if your house is chilly like mine, hence my fleece hoodie here. And anything else that you would like to add in for your practice tonight. If you have your own eye pillow, or if you made your own eye pillow based on my tutorial that I posted 30 minutes ago, anything that is going to help you relax and release and settle in. So you can also see that I set my mat up against the wall. We are going to utilize a little bit of wall space to end for releasing low back. I know you guys are probably in the same situation that I'm in, where I'm sitting a lot more than what I'm used to. Usually, I'm teaching high school and yoga. I'm on my feet almost 12 hours a day. And to be sitting for that long as I'm sitting right now, on my couch doing whatever, it's really taking a toll on my low back. And so to relieve some of that pressure, we're going to take legs up the wall for our final Shavasana tonight. So you can just keep your mat up against the wall. You can move it when we move into that pose, whatever feels good for you and your body tonight. But definitely going to want to get those legs elevated, release some of the pressure in your low back, reverse the blood flow, can release swelling in the ankles and the feet, any low back pain that you experience on the regular. Taking this legs up the wall position can feel really good at any point. That's the beautiful thing about restorative, is they're all really easy postures that you can do from home at any point in your day. They don't need to be warmed into, and it can just give you an opportunity to relax and release and just kind of drop in and check in with yourself. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. So hopefully you've gotten your props set up. Many of you are checking in multiple times a day. You've been here for a lot of our online classes. We just want to say thank you so much for joining us in this online space. To this space community, we miss you guys. We miss seeing you every day. It's been about a week and a half now, and it's like crazy that I haven't seen my students on a regular basis. We miss you terribly. And so to know that you're here with us in this online space in your own home studios is bringing a sense of comfort that I think a lot of people need at this point in our crazy, situation that we're all in together. So welcome, space students, space community. We're so thrilled that you're here and that we can provide you with this online space when we can't be in the studio together. And then people from beyond, some of my East Coast friends have been dropping in. I know some of Nicole Tudor's East Coast friends have been dropping in. The beautiful thing about our online space is that we can extend beyond the space and the Visalia community and reach people that we don't normally get to reach. And so that's kind of a fun byproduct of being in our home studios for the time being. So welcome everybody. My name is Nicole Saputo. I am a 200-hour registered yoga teacher. I teach at the Space Yoga Studio in Visalia, California. During this unprecedented time, we are working through our state's shelter-in-place mandate and are excited to co-create this online space with you. I am teaching you from my home studio, as you can see, and this is a class of a collection of suggested movements. There won't be many. We're aiming for about 30 minutes tonight. By participating in this free online class, you acknowledge that such practice may carry some risk of injury. You will not hold myself or the Space Yoga Studio liable for any injuries that may occur. Restorative lots of easy on our back positions. Gonna twist it out a little bit. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, about 30-35 minutes probably with Shavasana, and then send you on your way for dinner, your evening endeavors, watching a movie with a loved one, hopefully something, that takes your mind off all the craziness. So here we go. And if you have an eye pillow, I've got the one that I made with you guys just about 30 minutes ago handy. I also have my actual eye pillow, but just so that you can see, I'm keeping this thing around. You're gonna take a bolster or a pillow. I'll use my pillow, and you're gonna set long ways. And I think I said on the props 2 pillows, but if you didn't grab 2 pillows, a blanket works as well. So we're just gonna start in a nice seated position. And if you are using a blanket, wrap your blanket up. Kristen calls it a sushi roll. I love that language. So sushi roll right underneath the knees. And then you're gonna take the soles of the feet together so that, I'll move my props a little bit out of your way. Soles of the feet together so that the knees are resting on whatever prop you've got here to support the legs. And then find your bolster or your pillow, whatever you're using, and you're just gonna lie back. Ooh, that's nice. I grabbed my king size pillow from our throw pillows. And then if you wanna grab eye pillow, placing it over the eyes. And this is a pretty common asana to begin many practices in, not just restorative, maybe not so propped up. And then I'm going to ask you to take one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. A gesture here of connecting to self. And just breathe. Make an effort here to intentionally slow the rhythm of your breath. Take some time to just really focus on the length and the rhythm of your inhalations and your exhalations. And maybe as you take these calm, slow, steady breaths, you're counting 3, 4, or maybe even 5 seconds. And you're making an effort to match those inhalations with your exhalations. By doing so, you're creating a connectedness between what you're breathing in, what you're taking in, and what you're breathing out, what you're expelling. And through that inhalation and exhalation matching, you're finding a balance here between what you're bringing in and what you're getting rid of. And so maybe as you're here breathing, you're envisioning taking from the universe what you need. Envisioning that, breathing it in. And as you exhale, you're envisioning eliminating that which no longer serves you. And with the rhythm of the breath, feeling through the hands the rhythm and the beating of your heart. Recognizing through the breath and the heartbeat the connectedness of every function in your body. I want you to take some time here to also just kind of check in with how your body feels. I know a lot of us are probably a little more stagnant than what we're used to, limited to our own home space. And so maybe you're feeling a little stiffer than normal. Maybe you're feeling a greater sense to move. But recognize why you chose to log in tonight, to slow down, drop in, and check in with the self, body and mind. And however your body is feeling, acknowledge it here without judgment. Just recognizing in an effort to create that conversation between body and mind, opening up those lines of communication. Being aware and open to the subtle messages your body is sending you all the time. So take about 5 more breaths right where you are. And maybe set an intention for this restorative class tonight. I've been thinking a lot about poses in my practice that make me feel rooted and grounded. In times that are as chaotic as they are now, routines are messed up, life isn't necessarily normal. It's easy to feel out of control, and it's easy to feel anxious about the lack of control that we have about the world around us. And so maybe think about what makes you feel rooted and grounded. And inhale that as an intention if you'd like to borrow it. Maybe it's a practice that you continue from tonight through the rest of the week or the coming weeks. And as you exhale, seal that as an intention, as an effort. And then on your next inhale, if you have an eye pillow, you're going to just take it off the eyes, press down to rise up. Moving perhaps a little bit here, so you're going to take the pillow away from your mat and off to the side. You can take your blanket or another pillow if you've got one to the top of your mat here. This pillow is pretty big. For a pillow, we're just going to come into a twist, but it's going to be a supported twist. So the pillow is here for the legs. Keep your eye pillow handy, just checking in on time. And you're going to scooch your hips over towards the left side of your mat. Lie down. Head can rest on blanket or pillow. Scooch the other pillow towards the right side of the body. Lift the knees in towards the chest. And as you exhale, just allow those knees to come over towards the pillow. Left shoulder head is working down towards the mat. And then maybe once more you want to grab your eye pillow and place it over the eyes. I'll recommend taking the right hand to the tops of the knees and left hand maybe up and overhead. And then as you're here, or to a cactus, whatever feels good. As you're here, you're working on broadening across the collarbones and really working that left shoulder down towards the mat. If it feels okay for the cervical spine, and grab your eye pillow if you do this, pick up the head and take the gaze away from those bent knees, and then just kind of reposition that eye pillow. Belly's nice and tight. If you want a little more out of your twist, pick up the knees and move them higher up the pillow towards the right bicep, and then reposition right hand on top of the thigh area. Just giving a little bit of pressure to deepen the twist. No muscular effort there, just enjoying the weight of the arm as a way to increase the twist here for you. And then nice deep inhalation, exhalation to settle in. Breathing fully and deeply here. Continuing that breath pace that you established in our opening posture. And if you're a regular practitioner of yoga, maybe you're working with your Ujjayi pranayama tonight. And maybe not. Maybe you're just working through calm, slow, steady breaths. Whatever feels good and right for your own breath pace. Envisioning what you need from this practice and manifesting that, envisioning to reality. And you're going to envision that you're breathing more into the left lung. The lung that's facing the ground, facing the ceiling. Sipping in a little more air for the left lung to inflate, to expand the left rib cage. And similar as we would in a side body stretch, creating just a little bit more space in those ribs. And so you'll take about 3 more breaths here. Nice and deep and full. Feeling the left side of the chest expand, the belly expand. And then on your next inhale, grab the eye pillow if you had it. First, take the gaze back up towards the ceiling. Engage through the belly, lift the top leg, and then allow the right one to follow. And then just grab the knees and hug them in towards the armpits. Just kind of rock and roll a little bit for the sacrum here. And then engage your belly to find, once more, a comfortable seated position. You're going to scooch your hips over towards the right long edge of your mat. Position your pillow on the opposite side. I'm going to flip around so that I'm not, don't have my back to you guys. So my twist will look the same, but I promise it's different. So same thing, second side. Now you're twisting towards the right. You guys know what you're doing. If you take my class often, you know that my left and right capabilities are not great. And now I reverse myself, and so I'm all confused. So same thing, pull the knees in towards the chest, and you want to try to stack knees over hips to start your twist. So take those knees over towards the pillow, and then if you feel like you can get more out of the twist, then you'll lift your knees up and move them up towards that right or left arm. I'm all confused, like I said, but the opposite side. You guys know where you're headed. Just an easy supine twist. Reposition the eye pillow once more, and then hand with the knees bent on top of the thigh, and then the opposite arm maybe up and overhead reaching, or maybe just in that traditional cactus position. And if it feels okay, and if you took this offering on the first side, you're going to pick the head up and take the gaze away from those bent knees just to get the cervical spine involved in this nice deep twist here. Taking some deep breaths to settle in. And now you're breathing here into the right side body. Yes, now I remember. Right side body, because I talked a lot about the left lung, the left rib cage. So envisioning here, opening through the right lung, breathing into the right lung. Finding more space between each rib. More space in the rib cage just through breath. Breathing fully and deeply. And twisting, just as a practice, has a lot of really great health benefits. It can aid in digestion. It can help to relieve stomach cramping. It can aid in the flushing of toxins. And so if you think of the insides as a sponge, when you twist, it's kind of like wringing a sponge. So helping to expel that which no longer serves your body and aid in the natural movement of digestion. And so by spending an extended period of time in a twist, you're just giving your body a little bit more time to work through the benefits of that twist. So take about 5 more deep cleansing breaths. Breathing fully and deeply. Then on your next inhale, take the eye pillow off the eyes as you move the gaze neutral back towards the ceiling. Lift the top knee and then the bottom knee. And then once more, as you flex the feet, hug those knees in towards the ceiling, maybe, or in towards the armpits. Maybe rock and roll a little bit. Give the sacrum a little bit of a massage. And then rock and roll your way up to a seated position here. So easy Sukhasana, so just an easy crossing of the legs. And then one pillow, blanket, or maybe you're stacking all kinds of things. It just kind of depends on how the hips are feeling. So I'm going to turn sideways so that you guys can see. And then you'll want your fluffiest on top. So we're just going to take a nice easy fold here. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale. And you're going to pull your props close. Walk those fingertips towards the top of your mat. And either the chin or the forehead resting in your props. And so you're breathing here into that outer right hip. I'm going to rest my chin so that you guys can still hear me as I talk, but you do whatever's comfortable, probably forehead. And then you'll adjust props as you need so that the ground meets you where you are. So lessening any tension or anxiety for the body and thinking that it needs to get into a certain height compared to the floor. Let the props work for you here. And breathing fully and deeply once more. Forward folding here, length in the spine. So you can see with the props, instead of being rounded and putting a little bit of tension on the lower lumbar spine, having those props here really lets you hinge at the hips and create space in the vertebrae. And so that's what you're after here, as well as a little bit of an opening in this outer hip. And if you take the forehead down to the props, then the cervical spine, everything is in one beautiful line here. And so take about 5 breaths. Breathing fully and deeply. Maybe thinking about that intention that you set. If you borrowed mine, then perhaps you're thinking about the idea of rootedness and groundedness, which is going to be my theme for my classes all week. And so here you're rooted through your sits bones. The world is holding you up as you relax and release and drop in. Listening to those subtle messages the body is sending without judgment, just openness. On your next inhale, if the eyes were closed, blink them open. Engage the belly as you rise all the way back up. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, take the hands behind the back, lean back, and just switch the crossing of the legs so that the opposite leg is in front. If you started with right now, the left leg is in front. And rather than stacking, maybe you allow the legs to just be parallel to one another rather than crossed. Maybe they're parallel. It'll help you get a little bit more out of that hip. Inhale, take the arms up. And then as you exhale, hinging at those hips, reaching those fingertips towards the top of your mat and resting, maybe chin, maybe forehead. Maybe you take the position here that I have with the arms. Kristen calls it sleepover pose. I think that's adorable. And so maybe sleepover pose with the chin or the forehead. Whatever feels good and right for you. And if you are taking those hands stacked with chin or forehead, it can feel really nice to add the eye pillow to the hand. Just a little bit extra, especially if you made your own eye pillow out of a fuzzy sock and you put a little bit of lavender or your favorite essential oil. It can be really nice. Then breathing in and breathing out at a steady pace. Finding length through the spine and noticing here just what is coming up for you. Why did you make it to your mat tonight? Why did you dedicate this time for you? What do you need out of restorative yoga? And so you're dropping in here, creating a little bit more space in the hip on the left side. But also folding has a really similar benefit as twisting. It can be very detoxifying. It's good for the spine, especially when we're taking efforts to keep our spine long and healthy. Forward folds of this nature also have a very calming effect on the body. When you're folding into self-preserving energy just for you. Take about 3 more breaths. And And then as you inhale once more, rise up, bring the arms up and overhead. Then exhale, hands into heart center. Setting up for final Shavasana here. So legs up the wall as an option. Like I said, it's really good for low back pain, and I'm sure a lot of us are experiencing more stagnancy than what we're used to. So to get into legs up the wall, it's kind of hard to see, but you want to make sure that your hip touches the wall before the legs go up. I like to put a pillow or a bolster or something right underneath my sacrum for when my legs go up. It can be really nice for the lumbar spine. And then you can keep your blanket and your eye pillow handy for dropping completely in. And so you'll swing those legs up and you'll take them up the wall, and then you'll find your pillow or your blanket and you'll just rest here. And you can like scooch, yourself so that the hips are up against the wall. And if you don't have a wall handy in your space here, you can see my cute little snowflake socks, then just taking legs up for about 5 breaths and then releasing them into your final Shavasana, just traditional corpse pose with the body extended. And then eye pillow over the eyes, arms perhaps up and overhead like a halo, or you can place them right where we began. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. And you can just let the feet relax and rest in a natural position for the feet. Some of you may have sandbags at home, and if you are sheltering in place with a loved one, maybe if you have a sandbag or something weighted, it can feel really nice on the feet. You can call them over. And then take some time here just to listen. Dropping in to your final Shavasana. Listen to what the body needs. Listen to how the body feels. Just listen. Staying put for about 10 more breaths. And if you're ready to move, beginning to move, sliding the legs down the wall, hugging those knees in towards the chest and rolling onto one side. Of course, you're home, so you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as your body needs. But if you're coming out of Shavasana, bringing your hands into heart center, pressing the thumbs into the chest, and bowing into self as a gesture of gratitude and thanks for taking time to honor your body, whatever it needs. Thank you for joining me this evening. I wish you an awesome rest of your evening and rest of your week. And I'm sure I'll see you soon From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you everybody for joining me for Restorative. I have classes all week. Kristen is posting the schedule day by day. I will be back here tomorrow at 12:30 for another round of restorative and meditation. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great night. What are you doing? Hi, bud. Were you trying to let him come in?
He was trying to.
Oh, it's actually still live. Whoops, forgot to push end. Bye, guys. There was my beagle.